So, it was very clear from the polls that most of you wanted to see me pug my way up from 0 to 3k IO as a Feral Druid, so here is some amazing gameplay footage. Welcome! I am Saluun. I enjoy multiple aspects of World of Warcraft, such as collecting and making Transmog sets, but also like to share my pugging journeys in Mythic Plus. Heck, I even do housing on occasion. I also create guides sometimes, so if any of this sounds interesting to you, then subscribe now and let's get started. Everyone meet Vorgalicious, one of my older characters that I abandoned back in BFA. It still has benthic armor in its bank alongside with Legion, legendaries and artifact weapons, because I used to main Balance Druid for the first 2 tiers of Legion. I have never played Feral Druid before. The only time I touched this spec was to unlock the Sparkle Kitty from the Mage Tower when I was massively outgearing it and required 0 knowledge on completing the challenge, which I think is why it should be brought back again for people to obtain. I was leveling mostly through questing using the Follow the Arrow add-on, but I find questing incredibly boring, so I queued up for dungeons a few times, and by Cenarius's beard, some of these were hell. I did the last level purely with crafting, so that was chill. Once I hit max level, I equipped some Warbound gear because champion gear is literally thrown at you at every corner, and I just wanted to make doing my Nightmare Preys a little bit easier. The prey bosses weren't super challenging, just needed to rotate through my defensives, interrupt and dodge things. Once I did the 3 Nightmare Preys, I did all the weekly events for the Rep Champion items, so I was on 221 item level before heading into tier 11 DAOs. I was desperate for shoulders, wrists, boots and a ring. I've set Valeera as tank because for now I'm squishier than a corgi's butt, so I couldn't survive very well with Valeera's healing. I was able to do 8 DAOs in total because I maxed out my Delver's journey, so I could buy 2 extra keys from the DAO vendors for undercoins on top of the 6 weekly you get for Crofaki shards. Once I was done with all 8 DAOs, I did an LFR run where I won a tier chest, but I forgot to record it. I hate myself. This helped me to unlock 4 sets straight away, and thanks to my Catalyst Unbound achievement, I can just loot more. My item level was 242 at this point. Now, finally time for the first key, a +2 Pit of Sauron. I got a group together quite quickly this time, I just invited anyone who applied first. I've been trying to learn about Feral Druid from the Druid Discord's website called dreamgrove.gg. I linked in the description for anyone who's interested, and used the build initially I found on Archon. Dreamgrove became my Bible, but it felt like it's written in Latin because I didn't understand a single word.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What?
Reading the word priority list already made my brain melt. One thing that always drove me away from trying Feral Druid was having to keep your dots up. As a caster, I have no problem with that, but as a melee class, I just really don't like the idea. But I guess I'll have to get used to it now. I know I'm definitely doing things wrong, but in these first few dungeons, I was just trying to focus on keeping at least rip up, because I was super overwhelmed with all the cooldowns and the priority list. The tank took a bit of a strange route and pulled Aiken Crick first. I was very frazzled here. Do I keep dots up on the boss, or on a shade, or both, or all of them? Who knows, but I'm doing tank damage. But then, the trash got pulled accidentally into the boss, so it was time to pop cooldowns. I was now on top. After Garfrost, we kinda started going backwards to free a prisoner, and we were missing percentage because of the strange route we took. But I told them we can just talk to Jaina after the last boss, which is exactly what we did. We were missing like 8%, but it's fine, we still two-chested the dungeon. I received a ring, which was a nice upgrade, as I still had an adventurer one. My key turned into an Algathar 4, the home of the puzzle box. The one trinket that brings all the agile and strong boys to the yard. Did it drop? No, of course not, don't be silly. We three-chested this key, however, so it became a Skyreach 7. I keep saying three-chested and two-chested when that was literally in the game for such a short period of time. Let me know in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. Do you know where three-chesting is coming from? Let me know as well if you've heard about it but have no idea what it means. My DPS in this Skyreach was PAWFUL. My boss damage just seems to be equal to cat litter. I'm not entirely sure what am I doing wrong yet, but my trash damage seems to be okay, while the boss damage is bad. This was very inconsistent though, as on the Nexus Point first boss, that was not the case. This is pure single target, no adds, and you have to move out of melee range too. I even managed to out DPS this Affliction Warlock who was 670 item level while I was around 650, but I'm not sure what I did differently. On the second boss, I held my cooldowns apart from Tiger's Fury because this is only 30 seconds, and my damage definitely shot up during the light phase. However, I messed up the second one because I didn't wait 3 seconds for Tiger's Fury to come back and combine it with Convoke. On Lothraxion, I went back to being kinda crap again. After this key, I naively wanted to sign for other people's keys, as I just shrimply wanted to farm hero gear and score. But this kitty was not allowed anywhere except Windrunner's Spire. I was given a chance, ladies and gentlemen. And what did I do with it?
You blew it!
First of all, adding an Orc to a clueless Feral and a BM Hunter is
Useful as a cock-flavored lollipop.
But that's not the worst part. The worst part was me getting hooked instead of the boss because I'm like 1 pixel too short from being behind the boss. Like, come on, what is this, Overwatch where Roadhog hooks you from the other side of the map? The worst part is that we wiped as well because of this. But hey, if this wasn't bad enough...
Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me!
I don't think I've struggled rotation-wise as much as I'm doing on Feral Druid right now, but as I said, I've been truly avoiding it for a long time, which is kind of why I added it to the poll, but I didn't expect it to be voted so highly, so thank you for challenging me. Once again, I also decided to raid a bit, mainly for champion crests, and I didn't loot anything interesting, but I'm pretty sure I'll have at least 2 vault windows with raid loot, but I'm not expecting anything good. Before I part ways for now, here is a little glimpse of how my first plus 10 went.
No.